Hi, everyone. Ann Butler here. Lisa is going to be just a few minutes late today, and we are so thrilled to be able to interview Gina today. She is a dear friend and a fabulous business person that you all know and love. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know, for those of you that might not know, my name again is Ann Butler. I am the owner of Bella Crafts Publishing, along with my creative friend, Lisa Rojas, who will be here shortly. We do a free craft magazine 4 times a year that comes right to your inbox. And we also do ebooks that are available on our website. We do 2 Facebook Lives every single week on Wednesdays at noon Central Time and 2:00 Central Time. We have sponsors and we do giveaways every single week. So you might want to join us for that. I am going to bring Gina in. I'm going to unmute her and bring her in.
Hey, everybody.
Is
unmuting me. That's a dangerous thing to do.
Well, I figured Gina might have to do most of the talking because I'm getting over a cold.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm going to run it, do you think? No. And it's funny that you say that. Tom is behind the controls over here in our studio, and I don't know that he knew that I could be muted. So I'm just looking over at him, and he's like trying to find that button.
There is a button, so just in case. So we want to say hi to everybody who is here. There's a lot of people that are followers of Gina's, some that are ours, and it's nice to have you all. And if you guys put questions in here, we'll be able to see them. If you have questions for Gina, you just put them in here. If they're not scrolling by too fast, we'll see them. And we will ask her, because today is getting to know Gina a little more personally than you know her from her videos and maybe seeing her in a workshop, right?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm quite an open book, Anne, and they probably know a little too much. But there may be some things that they don't know. So if anybody out there, first of all, let me say hi to everybody. It is really, really nice to be here. And it's great to meet everybody from the Bella Crafts Publishing Group and YouTube channel. And of course, to see everybody from the Gina K Designs group here. It's so heartwarming to see that you joined us today. Yes, I would love to answer any questions that you have. I'll also answer any questions that Anne has. Of course, there's a limit. Maybe not, though. You know me, right? No, there's hardly ever a limit. And somebody said that we planned our outfits today, Anne. Do you think we did?
And we actually didn't.
No, we didn't. We got lucky. Although I think we both have this in our colors, right? So
yes,
this is kind of seems like it's a very popular crafty color. So I always wear a lot of this color to match my set,
Right. And it is. Eileen has it in her colors. Yeah, It's very popular. So to get started, how about if we start like way at the beginning of how you got started? I mean, I know you had Stamp TV. I mean, you were like one of the first ones on YouTube.
Yep, I sure was. Yeah, I started, well, I think I got into this hobby like a lot of people did. I had a friend who invited me to a Stampin' Up! Party. And I always say Stampin' Up! Is like the gateway drug for a lot of people. We go to one of those parties and we don't even want to go. We're thinking, oh, I got to support my friend, but what am I going to buy at this thing? If you're not a crafter, you have no idea. So I went to this party at a friend's house, and they were showing the different things that they had. And I thought, there's just nothing here for me. So what I ended up doing to support my friend is I bought this huge stamp that was grapes. It had grapes and vines. And then at that time, Stampin' Up! Sold paint. So I bought a purple paint and a green paint. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to date myself right now. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to stamp a border around my kitchen in grapes. And this way we can do like some kind of Italian kitchen look with grapes going around the perimeter of the kitchen. So I bought the stamps and I bought the paint, and finally, it got delivered, and I stuck it in a drawer and I never did anything with it. I completely forgot about it. Then about a year later, I was invited to another Stampin' Up! Party, but this time the demonstrator did a workshop. You know what happens at a workshop, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I sat down and I started doing whatever they were telling me to do, and I made a couple of cards, and I was hooked. And by the end of the party, I'd gone up to the demonstrator and said, I just want everything. I mean, I want everything. I want the stamps, I want the ink, I want the tools, I want the whole thing. And she said, well, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this at a Stampin' Up! Party, if you sign up to be a demonstrator, you can get 20% off. So I thought, okay, I'll sign up to be a demonstrator. My first first card, I signed up to be a demonstrator. So I did that for several years. And I had a fairly good sized downline. I don't know, about 60 or 70 people in my downline, and went on all the cruises and the trips and everything. It was so much fun. It really was. And then at some point, Stampin' Up! Kind of did a little bit of changing with their company and their business plan. And, I always say they changed their career plan and I changed mine.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting on the beach. We were on a little family vacation for spring break, and I was sitting on the beach and I had a sketchbook, and I drew a crab, I drew a lobster coming out of a pail, I drew a seagull. And I said to Tom, do you think anybody would like these designs as stamps? And of course, Tom, being funny Tom said to me, well, they look a lot like the things in that book you sleep with every night. That was the catalog. I would fall asleep every night with the catalog falling on my face. And so I thought, I should give it a shot. And I started Gina K Designs. And and the rest was history. Our first stamps were rubber, and they were on wood blocks. And I wonder if anybody in the comments knows, probably some of you do, because you've heard me be interviewed before, but does anybody know what the name of my store originally was? Because it wasn't Gina K Designs.
Ah, see?
I thought I was being cute. So let's see if anybody knows. I bet somebody knows. But anyway.
Anybody does.
So I started that store, and then from there, I ended up doing just a dedicated Gina K Design store. And I guess the rest is history, right?
Yeah. Mindy says you didn't say there'd be a quiz.
Mindy, there's always a quiz.
Lisa's here. I'm going to add her to the stream.
Awesome.
There we go.
Hi, Lisa.
No, afternoon. Hi, sorry I'm late.
No
I have
problem.
some last minute scrambling to do. So, but I'm here.
No
How
problem.
are you, my friend?
Me?
Yes,
Yes.
you.
I am doing very well. Thank you. I'm very excited and honored to be here with both of you.
Oh, thanks,
Yes.
Gina.
She was just telling us how she first got started.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know you could hear her.
Uh-huh.
Somebody says, I know what fruit salad is. Does that count?
That does count. That's Mindy, that counts. That counts. I'm just looking. Leslie said Gina K Stalkers. That could have been the name of well, back then, I mean, yeah. All right, I'll tell you what the name of the store was. It was called stampingfreak.com.
Oh my. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that was the name of my first store, stampingfreak.com. And I sold Gina K Design stamps, and then there were a couple other company stamps that we sold. I think we sold, what was the name of the company out in Seattle, in Washington, that had little wooden stamps, just the cutest little images? I know somebody in the comments will remember them.
Darcy and Company?
No. And I can't think, but we sold some of their stamps. They're no longer in business. A couple of, the original stamp companies like
Personal Stamp
PSX.
Exchange, but that was in California.
Yep.
Yeah.
PSX we sold.
Everybody. I mean, so many have been sold.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
none of those companies that we first started selling are still around. Hope I didn't have anything to do. Bring them in my store. It's where they come to die. I don't know. Actually, they were great companies, but I think that one of them ended up going more toward the party plan. So like the demonstrators. And then I don't know what happened to PSX, but they were great stamps.
They were.
They had the best florals.
Oh, they did.
My gosh. They were my favorite.
Yeah.
But you've got some gorgeous floral designs.
Oh,
I
thank you.
absolutely love. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very blessed with some great illustrators who really know how to draw flowers. We have Melanie and Hannah and Arjita. They just draw beautiful flowers. Lisa Hetrick, and then Debbie Warner and Emily Loggins. We have just an amazing group of people. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody. If I am, Tom, let me know.
Yeah, and I don't know them all, so I couldn't say, for sure. But yes, you do. You have fabulous illustrators.
Yeah, thank you.
So when you first started and you did your first stampingfreak.com.
Yes.
What was your next step? Was it doing videos for YouTube?
Yes. So it was, I remember, so I had been in business for about 2 years, maybe. And one of the things that I really missed being an online store was community. That was one of the things I loved about being a demonstrator, was that I would get to go to people's houses and I would get to sit with a group of people, and we all had this common interest, this crazy obsession with this, this hobby. And I really missed that. I felt very, very alone. So I thought that I can't be the only person that feels this way. And for people that were fortunate at the time that had local craft stores where they could go in and sit down and have classes, they were able to get that fixed. But there were so many people that lived in remote places that were really kind of on their own. Yep. So I thought it would be a fun thing to start an online community. Now, this was when Facebook was just getting started. Facebook was a place where college kids got together. Yep. And very few people in our age group or anybody over college really was on Facebook. I had a Facebook account. I probably logged into it once every 3 months just to see if it was still there, one of those things. And to check and see if my kids were on it, Yeah. So I could delete their accounts. But I thought it was really important to bring community to people that didn't have a stamping community. Yes. So I started the community called Stamp TV, and it was an online forum where we could get together and we could chat. It had challenges almost every day of the week. We did a different challenge. And I started my YouTube channel. But prior to starting my YouTube channel, I was already on Vimeo. So I had started doing videos on Vimeo. Actually, I started on Vimeo, not on YouTube. I started on Vimeo, and I would just embed those videos over on Stamp TV, my community. And so I would do a kit, and then I would do 8 videos or so featuring that kit. And then we'd launch a new kit, and I would do 8 or more videos featuring that kit. So we all got to have the same tools. And then week after week, I would do 2 videos to 3 videos a week showing how to use the kit. And it was super fun. It was a great community, and it did really well. I think we had about 35,000, 40,000 members. Wow. But then people started trickling to Facebook, and they were going to Facebook for other things. And they found themselves sucked into that kind of social media. And so it was a hard decision to shut down Stamp TV and move everything to a Facebook group. But I think it was the right move, because so many people were over there and they were missing what we had to offer. So that we moved our whole community to our Facebook group.
Wow. I remember Stamp TV. I do remember. Yes. That's how I first found you. And
that
was many years ago.
Many years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not talking about many years ago.
One person did ask, if you weren't in the craft industry or music, what would you be doing?
Oh.
I think I would own a business that sold crystals and things like that. I love crystals. I'm very into them. I actually have them sitting all over the place. Yes, I have them all over my studio.
I love crystals.
And I love them for so many reasons. I just think that they're beautiful to look at. They just produce a very peaceful, calming energy. And I find myself spending a lot of time in my local crystal stores, just looking around and seeing what would be pretty to decorate my home or my office. And I always had kind of this secret little passion in the back of my mind to do something like that. So maybe someday in the future when I retire, I will sit in my crystal cave and just meditate and relax.
Yeah, I have worn crystals for, oh my gosh, for years and years and years. Because they're great, like you said, great calming. And they're also, well, for me, kind of like great with healing, you know. So
Definitely.
I love crystals.
Me too.
And I would still come to your store if you opened it. I would
Oh,
be there in a
okay.
heartbeat. Oh, that would mean I'd have to fly though, right?
Yeah.
Come on, you can stay a while.
I don't mind flying. It's getting sick that I worry about.
I know
Yeah.
anymore, right? Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
goodness.
Jan said she remembers Gina on Stamp TV. She
Yeah.
remembers the kits included ribbons, brads, and stamps. Some of your
Yeah.
kits now have extra things too, right? I mean, you have dies and
Yeah, our kits are they're pretty value packed. We usually do a couple of stamp sets, a couple of die sets. Sometimes we will do a stamp and a die set and then 6 ink cubes with a blending brush.
Wow.
We do occasionally our kits will have a Connect glue in there. Which is a very popular product for our company. I'm trying to think of all the things. We do layering stencils in our kit. They're pretty value packed, but years ago when we first started, every kit had 2 rubber stamp sets. It had pattern paper and cardstock, and it had a roll of ribbon and some sort of embellishment. And my mom worked for me at the time, and she hand wrapped every single roll of ribbon that went into those kits. Thousands and thousands of rolls of ribbon. We would and there were always like 8 different styles. So we would cut strips. They were a foot long, and we would cut these foot long strips and hang them. And she would just sit there and talk to all the girls that worked there and wrap her little ribbon rolls. And she just do baskets of them. And so I still have some of my mom's wrapped ribbon that I've never opened because I want to keep it intact. It's kind of like a memory of my mom.
Yes.
Yeah. And when my mom passed away, we'd never put ribbon in a kit again. It's just like, it's just not a thing, you know? Yeah.
It was a mom thing.
It was a mom thing. It really
It was
was.
a mom
Yep.
thing. Yep.
Yeah.
I think we all have those.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you know, I invited my mom. My dad had passed away. My mom was very lonely. They were very close and loved each other very much. And when she passed away, I invited her to come and work for me. I didn't know what she was going to do. But, you know, that's when we started putting ribbon in the kits, when she started working for me. And because I thought this is a great thing for her. She was a seamstress. She loved to sew as a hobby. And so I thought, oh, fabric, you know, she'll love doing that. And she really did. She loved it. She never wanted to do anything else. Sometimes they would say to her, Ruth, do you want to do some pattern paper packs, or do you want to pack some cardstock? No, I have my ribbons. I like my ribbons. And she would do the ribbons. So it was a really nice opportunity for me to get to see my mom more, because as a businesswoman with 2 young children and, you know, an active household and the kids going in different directions, I didn't get to see her very much. So she would come to work a couple times a week, and it was an opportunity for us to see each other too. So it was nice.
Awesome. I used to drag my mom to the shows.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing.
I used to drag her to all of those, and she just loved them.
Yeah.
Those are
I'm sure
special
she just
times.
loves spending time with you, because my kids now can take me to anything. It could be the weirdest thing that they like, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to go.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking around at, what's there. I'm just looking at them, so
Yeah.
I
know.
spend time with them.
Spending
So,
time with them, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Rebecca says that was your mother's calming thing to do.
It really was. It was
Oh,
like
That's what calmed your mom.
that was her
Yeah.
meditation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That's
Yeah.
a great comment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
That
all
makes
need
sense.
that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put some links in while
Okay.
we're
Awesome.
talking.
And I
And-
want to
and-
remind everybody that we do a giveaway every live. So like, comment, and share with the hashtag Bella Crafts to enter, and then you're announced next week. So
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So you went from that to Stamp TV to Facebook.
Mhm.
How long have you been on Facebook?
I think about 7 years now. Our group has been around. We've got a little over 41,000 members in our group now. And
That's awesome.
it's funny because it's a huge group. It's probably one of the biggest stamping groups. I mean, outside of like Tim and Tim Holtz and people like that. But it's a really, really big stamping group, but it doesn't feel big. And a lot of our members will tell you, I mean, when they post a card, they get so much love. They get so much just adoration for sharing what they do. And there's people of all levels in our group, beginner stampers who are in there going, I need to buy ink. I don't know. I don't even know what colors to get. Can somebody tell me? And then there's somebody else that's in there just throwing tips out every day to help people. And so it's really neat. It's a huge group. Doesn't feel big at all, though, because everybody feels like a community. It feels like just a really fun neighborhood of crafters. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could all live together?
My goodness.
And that's how they get to know each other, too. I mean, we know a lot of people just virtually.
Right.
And
yeah.
I'm a hugger. So when I meet you in person,
yes,
that's what you get. But virtually, it is amazing how many people are just so giving of their time and their talents. And that's
creative
nice.
people
It's nice
in
when
general.
you have a group like that.
Yeah,
it really is.
People in general. That's just, it's just a different breed of folks,
Absolutely. And I agree. I think that online, I have some of my best friends that I have in my life, I met online. I met through Stamp TV and then again through Facebook. And, it's funny because most people would be terrified to meet somebody that they met on a social media app, right? But when it comes to a crafter, if somebody said to me, hey, I'm in California, if you want to come to my house for dinner when you're in town, I wouldn't even be afraid, because I feel like I know so many of these people from just hearing about their lives. And, they'll post a beautiful card and say, oh, I made this because my sister had surgery. Like, I feel like I know their names, their family, their children. And, the same social media that can feel so dangerous when it comes to crafting, it just feels like it's so enriching and just you're so enveloped in love. So
it's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, so true. The
I
people,
love that.
I mean, you get to know them, like you said, and their families and what they're doing. And that's wonderful.
Yep.
So you had a store for a while.
I did. Well, I actually had 2 stores. So when we lived in Madison, I had a little store called Gina K Designs. And that was the first building that I moved out of when we moved out of our basement. We used to make all of our stamps in our basement at home. And my kids, I had little kids, so I would do all the mom things throughout the day. And I also had another business at the time, too. So Gina K Designs was very small. At the time, I had 5 nail salons. So I was in the beauty industry and loved that. Yeah, I taught at the college, and then I owned my own nail school with a partner for a while. And so we taught a couple times a week each. And then in the day I would go and do nails, and I had my different salons that I had to bounce around to. And then at nighttime, I would come home and fulfill orders in the basement. And I made my own stamps. I cranked the rubber vulcanizer in the basement and made my own stamps. At night, would package them all up. And then on my way to the salons, I would drop off orders at the post office. So it took a while to build Gina K Designs. And you know what they say, don't quit your day job. I didn't quit my day job until I absolutely knew that it would be able to, you know, be an okay
sustain itself.
Sustain. Yeah. And then so we finally found this little retail place in a town called McFarland, Wisconsin, right outside of Madison. That's where we lived. And I had my little store there. And it was a tiny little store. It was fun. It wasn't very busy. I think it was not in a good location because it sat right behind a funeral home. And I feel like feng shui wise, that probably wasn't a good thing. Yeah. But it was a great place for us to get started, and it got my business out of the house. We stayed there for about a year. And when the lease was up, we found a warehouse in the same town. And we were able to grow and expand from there. And then my daughter Rena was a competitive swimmer at the time. And she really wanted to swim at a Big Ten college. So she felt like she needed to swim with a more competitive club team. So we moved up our whole family and our business to Milwaukee, packed everything up, moved. She went to finished her high school years in Milwaukee, and we relocated. So we got a small warehouse in Milwaukee, and Tom and I did everything. We had no employees. So we made the stamps, we packaged everything, we shipped everything. We were doing videos. We had no air conditioning. It was like the weirdest little building, but we got a lot done. And then we finally found our big retail store. And that was called Village Paper and Ink. It was in the village of Greendale. We had an event there. A lot of people came. It was super fun. And we really loved the store, and we had it up until COVID hit. And when everything shut down, we shut the store down too. And we had plans of reopening, but just like everybody else, we really hoped that COVID would be gone. And I'm a type 1 diabetic. We have a lot of people. Right now I have a staff of 35 people. We have a lot of people here that have autoimmune issues. And we just didn't think that it was fair that we open the store back up and risk all of that. And, you know, the online store was never the way that we made our income. The online store was really an opportunity to invite the community in and have our brick and mortar Stamp TV community. You know, so we would, on a Saturday, we would have 100 people come in, but just to make a free card. And they would come in and make a free card, and people were able to buy things. But our online store had always been, you know, our bread and butter. That's how we made our living. So we were able to sustain that even without the brick and mortar store. But it was sad to see it go, because we really loved being able to hug people in person and just talk to people and get to know people. People flew in from everywhere to come and see our store, which was really cool. So awesome. We're sad that that's gone, but now we've got a real big warehouse in Milwaukee. So we've got 2 huge warehouses and then 11 offices, and we've got a staff of 35 people. So we've grown over the years, thanks to everybody. We couldn't have done it without all of our wonderful community. We're very grateful to be in the position that we are, and to have been able to keep everybody safe through that whole pandemic.
Oh, right. I mean, and
that was a scary time.
Yes, to go from just you and Tom doing everything to 35 people employed. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so grateful. I have the best people. And it's funny because they have found so many better ways to do things than I was doing them. And I have so much respect for the people that work for me, the way that they, you know, our customer service team, how they've put all kinds of things into place to be able to help people quickly. And our packers and our pickers can get, you know, 500 to 600 orders out in a day. I mean, Tom and I could never do that. our assembly team just can mass produce product at such record speed in our warehouse and our inventory manager. I mean, everybody in our warehouse, they all just do such a great job. Tom and I are very right-brained people. We're creative people, both of us, but there's like nobody that has a left brain cell. And so it's really, it's really nice to have all of these people who are organized and efficient and can say, no, let me do that because you don't know what you're doing. And they're right. And so it really does take a village.
It does.
Yes,
it does. And it's nice that I'm sure that I know you. So I know that you would treat your employees so well that you have a staff that will stay forever.
Oh, I love them. You know, we had to move from one town to a totally different town across town, which is not a short distance. And everybody came. Everybody came with us when we closed our retail store to move to the new location. We didn't think they would, and we didn't blame them if they didn't. I mean, it's a hike, but they did. And we're just so blessed.
That is nice.
Yeah.
So since you have this big space.
We have a big space, yes.
All these offices. You have got your studio set up all the time for videos, right?
Oh, yes, that's so nice. It is. I used to do my videos at home during the pandemic in my own craft room, which was nice and very convenient. But, you know, I have hardwood floors and high ceilings, and it's very echoey. And so when we moved into this building, we were able to design this studio space to be really soundproof and, you know, most of the time, a lot of my people will tell you at nighttime, sometimes we hear them drag race out here, but we were able to contain the light. So there are windows in this room, but we were able to completely black them out so that the lighting stays set up. The cameras don't change. When we were doing it at home, you know, we had a window in my craft room, and depending on where the light was, all the settings had to be changed, and it would drive us nuts. You know, 2 weeks later, it was completely different because the sun is moving in the sky. You know. So yeah, I feel very lucky to be able to have it here and right at work during the day. When I get a shipment of a new product and I need to test it to make sure it works, I can just run into the studio and I can check things and make sure things work well. And it's a lot of fun to have it all here.
Yeah, no, I can just imagine that.
I would love it.
Debbie says, if I lived by Gina, I would work for her too. And Lori says, all of your followers are blessed as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is so true.
That's so sweet. Well, we're all in it together. I mean, my community over in Facebook, they're all my sisters and brothers over there. They're like, I feel so close to those people, you know. I think we have a very different kind of relationship. I'm in there all the time talking with people and commenting on stuff because I love to see what they're doing. And I think as an artist, and I know, Anne, you have a line of products, right? You know how amazing it feels to see somebody use something that you designed and create something far more beautiful than you could ever dream of creating yourself. And that's what I get to see every single day when I go on that Facebook group. I get to see what people have done with my stuff. And honestly, I spend half the day with my jaw on the floor. Yeah. Like I have to get out of Facebook and go do some work because I just get sucked into all the beauty.
It is easy. Lisa says Gina's seems like such a genuine person in general, which she is.
Oh, thank you.
That's what attracted her to the Facebook group. Thank you for being so kind.
Thank you. We're glad to have you.
So Lisa and I can attest because we know Gina personally, and she is the same on camera as she is in person. She is just sweet and kind. You know, I mean,
that's very sweet. Thank you.
Yep. But in person, you can see all of this pretty glow around her.
Oh,
this really pretty glow.
Lisa, that's just glitter that got in my hair when I was making a project.
I know the glitter never goes away, does it?
No.
Oh boy, My husband always knows when I'm working with glitter, Gina, because my dogs will come out of the studio and there'll be glitter on them, and he'll be going, glitter again, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he probably has it on him and he doesn't know where it came from.
This is true.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay,
That's funny.
so you do stamp releases.
Sorry.
Is it like every month?
It's usually every month. We don't have a release in December.
Yeah.
I don't think we had one last year in December either. We find that December it's so much on everybody, including all of our customers. They're busy. They're shopping for gifts. They're decorating for the holidays. They're busy.
Yeah.
And our staff is busy and everybody's busy. And it usually takes us about 17 business days to get through our Black Friday orders. And by that time, it's almost the end of the year. So we always do a big end of the year kind of deal where we find products that we need to reduce inventory to make room for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually have a big sale on certain items at the end of the year. And then we have a nice big release again in January. So that's what we usually do. But then we try to have a release every month. Occasionally, it used to be easier to have a release every month, but I'm sure, as everybody knows, there are supply chain issues that are just a killer for businesses.
Yeah.
And then I know that even and it's not that we can't get what we need to make things. Sometimes we can't. But sometimes it's just that there's not enough staff in these manufacturing facilities to actually make the stamps or package them or get them to us. So a lot of times we'll plan on a release for a certain date and it gets moved 2 weeks because the manufacturer had an outbreak of COVID and half their employees were out.
Yeah.
Or there are shutdowns in China. And I know that although we get the majority of our products manufactured in the United States, our manufacturers have to get things from China.
Right.
So even something as simple as an ink pad that's made right here in the United States, those plastic cases, they come from China. That's what the manufacturer tells us. And so all of them do. And so, they might have enough people to make the ink pads, but they don't have the cases. And the cases, the factory in China is shut down for COVID because they don't, like, if they have a zero COVID policy. So, they'll shut down cities until that number goes down to zero. So it's been very, very complicated trying to do those monthly releases. We've done fairly well, and our customers are so gracious with us. If we have to move a release or we have to do something, they're all like so kind about it. But we know everybody gets excited for new products. I know I do. You work with stuff for a while, you're ready for something new. So January will be very fun at Gina K Designs.
Oh, yay. Something good to look forward to.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
So do you ever keep any stamp sets in your line always?
Yes.
Question.
Well, since we've changed over to clear stamps, we do. I mean, we have stamps in our line that have been in our line for over 10 years. Melanie Menschinger was one of my very first illustrators, and we have a huge line of her products. We have retired some, but A Year of Flowers was one of her very first stamp sets with us, and we started those in rubber and went to clear with those, and that is still a stamp set that we have in our collection. So there are some that never seem to go away because new people get into stamping. And as popular as they were then, when a new person gets into stamping, they're timeless. So, there's trends and then there's those timeless images. And the trendy ones seem to get retired after a while, but those timeless ones seem to stay for forever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know because, some stamp companies, they order once and when it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, no, we don't do that.
So,
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody in here, I saw it. I can't see it anymore, but it said your releases are the only releases she sets an alarm for.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank
that
Oh,
you.
that's so cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, yeah, because when you find a company you love and the products you love, you're very
Yes.
dedicated. And I think that's what all of your followers are.
They are very, very loyal, and we're so grateful for that. And I
Of
think
course.
one of the things that really makes a difference for us is doing so many supporting videos for the products. Doing our Stamp and Chat lives a couple of times a week is a great opportunity for all of us to craft together. So we really try not to just release something and then you just never hear about it again.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
very rare that I would, well, I've never put a kit out where I made one card with it and said, here, buy this kit, and then never used it again. I use it until we're all sick of it.
Yeah.
You know, week after week after week, people, and I see it because people will get in our group and say, when's the next release? But that's when you know that you've gotten value
Yeah.
for your crafting dollars, because when you buy something, you want ideas, and you want to know how to use it, and you want to know other ways to use it other than what's in your own brain. And that's what's so great about our community, because I'll make 8 videos with the kit, and then Mindy Egan will do videos with the kit, and Karen Hightower and Kathy Tidwell and Jennifer McGuire always joins us for our releases. So there's like all of this amazing inspiration out there. And we have so many guest designers that are so talented, and they produce products with our line as well. So there's so much inspiration. And I think that that's really important. Because it shouldn't just stop at selling the product.
Right.
Right.
When it comes to crafting products, there should be support and inspiration that follows. Otherwise, you end up with a craft room full of stuff that you're not sure how to use. And we don't want you to do that. And my friends out there, they will tell you, just last night, I made a tag. I used a stamp set that came out probably 7 years ago, a Christmas set. So, and it's still in our collection. And there were so many people in the comments saying, oh my gosh, I have that set. I bought that kit way back. I got to go find it. I love the old stuff. I love to keep bringing it out and, resurrecting it from the dead. Because a lot of the stuff that we do, I feel like it's timeless, and you can use the new techniques that you may have learned with the old stamp set. And I'll show you a card that I made. Let me grab it here. This card I made in my last 5-minute card video. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, I saw that on your website.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
This is a super old stamp set. This stamp set came out back when we first opened our brick and mortar store, and we had an event there that people flew in from all over the world. And this stamp set is called Christmas Greenery, and they all got that stamp set as part of their kit. And then we released it. It has been one of our best-selling stamp sets for 8 years. 7 years, something like that. And I pulled it out, a couple days ago. So I love to pull out the old stuff. I love to keep it going.
I think that's very important too. Yeah, because especially like even for other designers, if they're using your stuff, they can't use stuff that's not available anymore.
Right.
I mean, so it's nice to know.
Yes.
There is a question. How did the wreath builder system start?
Okay, well, that's a great question, Diane. Thank you for that. So that same event that I had back in the in our little village paper and ink store in Greendale, with that Christmas Greenery stamp, same stamp set, it had little bits and pieces, and I thought it would be really fun to teach a class how to make a wreath. And I did that with a pencil and a ruler. And I basically segmented out the cardstock with a pencil and a ruler and kind of went all around. And then you would stamp on these lines. And then after you stamped on all the lines, then you would go back and erase all the pencil. And in my brain, that class was going to be great. And the deer in headlights that I got, everybody looking at me like, are you crazy? I realized that that was not the best way to do a wreath. However, because I had engineered that template, I thought, okay, how can we do the same thing? But instead of turning the stamp, let's turn the cardstock and keep the stamp in one place. And the Misty stamping tool allowed me to reverse engineer that class that I taught so that the cardstock could be turned inside the template instead of creating the template and turning the stamp around the thing. So it really came to me. I was laying in bed after that weekend thinking, wow, I really thought that would go better. And what could I have done better? Like, what could we do? Because wreaths are really popular. And
I love that.
The wreath builder came into my brain and I thought, okay, I got to have a sample template made and then I have to try it. And when it worked, I was beyond excited. And I remember I had it all ready to go and I sent it to Jennifer McGuire because she is one of my best friends. I sent it to her and she's an engineer. She's a real engineer. I'm a pretend engineer. And I sent it to her and I said, what do you think of this? And I sent her a little video and she goes, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. I love it. So I said, okay, I'll send you one and see if you like it and you play with it. And that was the beginning of the whole thing. Yeah. So it was very fun.
Wreath builder's awesome. I did a live on it a couple years ago.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. I do remember that. Yeah.
I did a live on it and I had an absolute blast.
They're fun cards to make. They really are. They're super fun.
Yeah.
They are. And you have it 2 sizes now.
We do. We have a large one and we have the original. We have 3 sizes and we have the mini. So the mini is great for tags. If you want to do tiny little wreaths, if you want to do a wreath that you put on like a door that you make and stuff like that. So
cute.
Yeah.
No. Somebody in here had said she cleans out her craft room all the time, but never gets rid of your stuff.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
I am trying
Don't get rid of it because I'm telling you, it's coming back in a video. What's that? I'm sorry.
I said I'm trying to keep up with the comments as Gina's talking, but I'm listening to Gina too, so it's kind of like
yeah.
But
I have the comments here too.
Comments, we go back through them. And
yes, always.
If there's questions in here that we didn't catch, we will reach out to Gina and make sure that we get the answer for you guys. And
always.
Patricia loves the Stamp Chat Lives. She looks forward to the word of the day from Tom.
Oh my gosh. Tom was so funny. Did you hear his word of the day yesterday?
I didn't hear it yesterday.
So Tom, I don't know how his brain works, but see, it's right brain. See, there's no left brain cells in between us. I don't know how we even managed to put a stamp on an envelope. Well, that's card making. I guess I should say, I don't know how we pay a bill because he does all the numbers. He is really smart. Tom is a lawyer. I don't know if you knew that, but he's an attorney. And he is very smart, but he is definitely a very right brain person too. He's a musician. And he's got this very creative brain and he loves wordplay. He will combine words and say the funniest things in the house. And one day I said, you should do a word of the day on our lives. And last night his word of the day was, he pretty much said, I don't know why they're called hemorrhoids. They absolutely should be called asteroids. So see everybody leaving the live.
No, funny man.
See,
he said, "Why do they call them? I mean, they could have called those planetoids or something,
gosh, sounds like my husband, Gina, who is also a musician. So
yeah, that's that side of the brain at work all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. I love that.
That is. He is. And Tom, I've met him.
Yes.
He's wonderful too.
He's so funny. He's very funny
Yeah.
in live classes too. We had a great time when we did the Bella Crafts conference up at the Mall of America with you guys.
Yeah.
And he helped me in my class. And that's, I use the word help loosely, but he helped me in my class and it was very comical. It always is.
He is. And he played music for us.
He did. That's
That
right.
was
He did.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Mhm.
And speaking of events, we are having another event.
Oh, good.
And I saw Karen in here. Karen Hightower, one of your design team members, is teaching
There she
a
is.
class at the event.
She is amazing.
Yeah, she
Karen
is.
actually flew out to our Village Paper and Ink event and she taught a class and people love her. They love her so much. She is the warmest, friendliest person and so unbelievably talented. God put so much talent in that one person. I always say to her, share a little bit of it with the rest of us. So I know she's going to create a fantastic class for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is BellaCon 2023. It is in Dallas, Texas, February 23rd through the 25th. And registration opens up at 5:00 today. We will have something on our Facebook page and it'll be sent out to our
subscribers.
Yep. That's it.
So how will people who go ahead, Lisa? I just wanted to say, how will people who aren't subscribers right now learn about Bella Crafts Con?
Well, I'm going to send Karen. I have a graphic I made that shows all the teachers and where it's at, and I'll give her the link when it opens live at 5.
Oh, great. Okay.
So she can post it, so she can share it too.
Yeah, she can share it in our group, Karen.
Yeah, and then we can also put a graphic on Facebook.
Oh yeah, we'll share it everywhere. But
yeah, we'll do it on our stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
So they'll be able to find it on ours.
Awesome.
Too. But what I was going to say is that Anne and I, we've worked together for such a long time now that we complete each other's sentences.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why, sometimes I'll be talking and I'm like, okay, what is that? And then she'll jump in and say, whatever it was I was trying to say. So that sounds like a lot like you and Tom.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Although he comes up with much better words than I do.
Oh my goodness. Too much. Too funny.
Gail says you're blushing.
I am blushing.
I've seen this before.
Yes.
Where they say whenever you talk about Tom or you're talking to Tom, you blush.
Yes.
That's love.
He's still my boyfriend. Yeah. Definitely.
And he makes great cards, Gloria says.
He does. In fact, Gloria, I'm glad that you said that because I actually just talked to him the other day and I said, I think you should make a card coming up on a live. And he said, all right, you can be in the dead space. That's what we call his station over there, the dead space. He said, you can be in the dead space and I'll make a card. And I said, let's do it. I think that would be fun. I said, the problem is you're going to have way more views than I do. If they know you're making a card, you're going to have way more fans than me.
Yeah, Renee says that Tom is a wonderful musician and he's very warm and funny also. He and Gina are so much fun to watch.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That is good. Love that.
He is. He's a great guy. Not a lot of husbands would leave a successful career in law to come and work at a stamp company, but he did that for me. And I'm really grateful for that because I would not be able to run this business without him at all. He does everything that would fall under the heading of doing business.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would not be able to do it at all without him.
That frees you up to be creative.
Yes.
So that's a
you
wonderful.
Complement each other.
It's a great partnership. It really is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Vicki says you'll have to come up with the word of the day.
Oh, that's Vicki. That's right. Oh no. I've got some tough competition there.
Yeah.
I'll come up with it.
Now, Dawn asks, or she says that she was booked on a cruise that you that was supposed to sail in October 2020, but was canceled because of COVID. Do you
Yes.
think you'll do another cruise class?
I don't think so. We had talked about it, but I don't think we are going to do another stamping cruise. I had done a stamping cruise many years ago with Paper Tray and Stamping Bella, two companies, great companies in the stamping industry. And recently, my friend Emily passed away. I don't know if you heard from Stamping Bella, but she just passed away. Yeah, she was such a lovely person, funny. I just adored her. And then Paper Tray, which is another company that everybody knows and loves. Well, the three of us, this was way back when Rena was like 7. I mean, she was super tiny. And yeah, and Rena just turned 25. So she was really little. We had so much fun. We had 150 people. We went on the, I think it was the Navigator of the Seas with Royal Caribbean. And we taught, it was a 7-day cruise, and we taught classes every single day, every night. So we'd go out and do the things that you do on a cruise. And then after dinner, the classes would start from like 6 at night to, or 7 at night to 10. And you would just rotate through our 3 classes, and everybody got to take everything. So I think we did a total of maybe 9 classes, 3 each. So it was really, really fun. But it was a ton of work and very overwhelming. And I was going to just be a guest teacher and do 1 class on that cruise. That was a cruise that was put together by Scrapmania, which is a great store in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Big store. So if you're ever in Cedar Rapids, say hi to Stacy at Scrapmania. But they put that cruise together, and Stacy asked me if I would teach a class. And I thought, well, I can pack a bag and, teach a class. And then COVID hit, and then it got moved, and then it just never came to be. And so, but I wouldn't do it on my own, because back then I was much younger and had a lot more energy for that. And I also, my business wasn't as
huge,
big as it is now. And I feel like I need to be here more for that. And it's hard for me to get away. Even when Tom and I go away, we'll go away for, we'll leave on Friday late in the afternoon and come back Sunday night, because it's very hard for us to get away for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. Maybe we'll do a virtual cruise.
No, that would be fun.
We'll
Not
see.
the same, but maybe.
Yeah, that would
a lot
be
of fruit
fun.
salad and
There you go.
But virtual classes are what COVID brought. I mean, a lot more people do them.
Yes.
And that is how they get inspired in their creativity. And you've been doing them all along. But you started doing lives because you always did very structured videos that were edited. But you started doing lives, and that's fun, right?
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of people think I started doing lives during COVID, but that's not true. Rena and I did lives for 3 years before COVID. We were going live, and people don't realize that. We actually won a Streamy Award through way back when nobody was live streaming. We won a Streamy Award for Best Craft Show.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. And it was kind of cool. I don't think it was called a Streamy Award, but it was called something like that. But she was in college in Minnesota, and I was in Wisconsin, and we would meet the way you two are meeting right now. And we'd go side by side, and then we had side by side overhead, and we would make cards together once a week. And we did that for years together. And it was so much fun. We did them on Facebook. That was before YouTube even had the live capability. So we would go Facebook Live. And we were doing that for a while. And then when COVID hit, that's when I started going live 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah. But we've been doing it for a long time, many generations of equipment changes. And
Oh my gosh. Can we attest to that? Right, Ann?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh.
But someday when I'm driving somewhere and I'm near Gina, I need to come and see her setup.
Oh yeah,
that
definitely.
would be cool.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, we put some stuff into this setup. Tom has a big mixing console, and everything gets wired through that, and everything is hardwired in. And yeah, when we first started, I was using my laptop as my front camera and my iPhone as my overhead, and it's come a long way. Let's say it's come a long way. So
I know it's all a process.
yes,
Oh
definitely.
gosh, yes. Gosh, yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep coughing.
Yeah, I know.
So, is there anything else that you want to tell your viewers?
Oh, just that I love them so much, and I'm so happy,
Hey,
grateful
so
for
sweet.
all of you for coming here today and for being part of my life. I am very, very well aware that I would not be anything without you. So thank you so much for all that you give to me. You fill my cup every single day, even if it's not, I don't need fruit salad. I have you.
No.
Uh,
Lisa is asking, would you consider online classes with a list of items to prepare ahead of time?
We've talked about that, the possibility of actually doing a class, an online event, maybe doing a box of products that we ship out. There's a lot of different things that we've talked about. So
Yeah.
there's the possibility in 2023 that we might do some more specific stuff like that. But we have nothing set in stone, so I don't have any major announcements or anything. I do a few online events with other companies, and they've gone really well. So we'll see. Maybe Gina K Designs will jump into that as well.
that would be
and
awesome.
Gloria said, remember when you hit 911 accidentally on the phone during a live?
Yes, I do.
Tell
Oh
us
my
about that.
goodness. Okay, so this was this was during COVID, and
Oh,
my
my
daughter
goodness.
Alicia was staying with us. And I asked Alicia if she would monitor the live, because back then I didn't even have access to the comments. I couldn't see the
Yeah.
comments. So she sat on the end on her phone and she was monitoring comments. And so I took my iPhone and I was hooking it into the overhead thing, and I hit the side button 3 times. And I'm like, I don't know why I can't see anything. I was like, oh my gosh, I just dialed 911. So I hung up.
Oh no.
And I thought, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And so I went live, right? About 7 minutes later, the doorbell rang. And where my studio is at home is right near the front of our house. I converted my dining room. It used to be a formal dining room, so I converted that into a stamp room. So it's right, right where the front door is. And the doorbell rang, and I said, Alicia, go get the door. And Alicia went to the door, and it was the police. And they were like, is everything okay here? We got a 911 call from here. And Alicia was like, yeah, it's my mom. She's live on Facebook teaching card making, and she called 911 by mistake trying to put her phone into the stand. And so the cop stuck his head in, and I was like, hey, and he's like, all right. Yeah, so I did. I called 911 live, and everybody was with me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is hysterical.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to say that they called you back in the middle of your life.
No, they came.
Oh my God.
Kudos to our police department, because I think it's great that they do that. But wow, I felt so bad.
That's a good one.
I took cookies.
That is one for the records.
I took cookies down to them like the following week, and I was like, I'm the lady that called live trying to go live, or called you trying to go live on Facebook.
Oh my gosh, Gina, that is too funny. I mean, I have done some really crazy things during our lives, but that one, yeah, that's a good one.
But the police haven't showed up yet?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Jan says she remember watching that night. It was funny.
A lot of you were with me that night.
Yeah,
with me a long time.
Excuse me, I need to talk to the policeman for just 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
we had a laugh about that. That was funny.
Oh, that's too funny.
That is, wow, amazing.
Okay.
Well, we could go on forever.
Yes, we could.
And I think everybody would stay with us
Yep.
because they love Gina.
Aw. Well, it's been so much fun. It's quite an honor to be here with you, lovely ladies. And you guys know I love you. We have a long history together, and I'm honored that you chose me as a guest.
Yes.
Always, you know.
Always. Yep.
Yes, we
All
are so
right.
happy that you were able to make it in your schedule, and we got it done before the end of the year.
Yes. Marty.
I'm trying to read this comment.
Oh, okay.
You ever get crafter's block or a time when you have to do right before you have to do a live?
Yes,
And you don't
I
have
do.
to create juices?
I do. I get
Yeah, we all
crafter's
do.
block a lot. And, you know, I think if you've been crafting for a long time, you kind of have your go-tos that you know will work.
Mhm.
And so what I try to do is be a little preemptive by thinking about what I would like to use in the live. So you might see a headline that says, tonight, let's make a holiday tag. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I know I'm going to make a tag. And then I'll have 2 or 3 ideas in my head of what I think would be good, whether it's some ink blending or die cutting, shaker card, things like that. And then I just see kind of what happens when I get there and what feels right. But yeah, I've had my nights, and people that are in the comments have seen some duds from me that didn't work out. But a lot of times being live with you guys, it's not really about the crafting as much as it's about just being together.
Yeah.
And honestly, they pick a lot of the things that I use. So I'll say to them, what color do you guys think I should use? Or which image, or, you know, and they voice their comments, and we kind of look and say, oh, most people are saying red, let's go with red. So they help a lot in my projects.
Yeah, Anne's really good about that.
Are you, Anne?
Yeah. It helps just to
Yeah.
ask. And that, you know, because I don't, Lisa always has her project done in advance and prepared, and I wing things.
Me too.
I have
I'm a
to.
winger. I'm a winger.
Anybody that knows me, Gina, knows that I am not good at winging it. I get flustered, and no, it's just not a good thing to watch.
It's not for everybody, Lisa.
No.
Definitely. But, you know, some people are more comfortable with it than others.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
also
great.
I'm not as afraid to be embarrassed. So maybe that's part of it, is that, you know, I know that I have such a loving audience that they get that I'm human, and that sometimes I'm going to try things and I'm just going to throw it in the trash. I do want to just say one thing real quick. I know you have some of your viewers here who probably don't know what I'm talking about when I say fruit salad. Fruit salad is sangria. That's what fruit salad is. So if you ever hear me saying that I took a sip of my fruit salad, I'm just trying to make it sound healthier. It's sangria. That's all it is.
Okay.
Okay.
One of the ladies in the comments said sangria, and I thought,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just sounds healthier.
Oh, yes, it does.
And I wanted to say that by winging it, you know, everything doesn't always turn out perfectly, but that's how you learn.
Right.
And that's how, you know, sometimes out of a mistake, something even better comes.
Absolutely.
You know,
we have a saying around here. We have a saying around here that if it's better than horrible, it's good.
Yeah. I don't worry so much about being embarrassed. I worry about forgetting what I'm doing.
Oh,
you know, like
yes.
When I'm trying to prepare something, if I wait to do it right before the live, then I'm afraid, oh my God, what if I missed that step? And geez, you know, and
there was one time where Lisa did do one step before the other, and she told me about it later, and I said, but nobody knew.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know because you completed the project.
Yeah. I think everybody is so, you know, easygoing, and they just love being together, and they love to get ideas. And sometimes a lot of the people that watch my live videos are so experienced that I'm not teaching them anything new, but there might be one little thing that I say that they say, oh, I never tried it that way. I'm going to try that. They make better cards than I do, but it might be that one little tip or trick that made it worth tuning in. Yes. And I was going to say, Lisa, you know, if you forget what you're doing, then you're just doing a Gina K Stamp and Chat Live. That's all that is.
Well, I've done it twice where I've been right in the middle of a project and forgot what the heck I was supposed to be doing. And,
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God. I mean, our viewers know that I'm a nutcase anyway, so they don't pay any attention to me.
Yeah, we're all in it together.
We are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Gina.
Yes.
This has been such a wonderful time catching up.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And absolutely love everything that you do. You and Tom have created this amazing, business that we've all been able to be a part of, and that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
So
It is.
All right. So are we ready then to close it out?
Yep.
All right. Okay, everybody, that's it for us today with Miss Gina. But before we go, like I always say, don't forget to craft because it's good for your soul.
Always.
It really is. All right, you guys, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And Ann and I will see you next week.
Yep.
Thanks
Bye,
again, Gina.
Everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay.